everyone, and welcome back to another Storytime video. And today I am going to talk about my experience with D.A.R.E. Now, this being the anti-drug group, I believe, without looking it up off the top of my head, it was an organization prominent in the formed in the 80s and was prominent in the 90s and 2000s, and that it stands for Drugs Abuse Resistance Education. And I got reminded of this because the officer who went to the school that I was going to, that private Christian school I went to, that was near and dear to the community that I grew up in. He passed away last week. So I'm telling this story, I guess in honor of him. This is something that I have been meaning to tell for a while, but that it slipped my mind, and this is a good reminder and a good time, in my opinion, to tell it. But he conducted the class, and so it was great. I remember it was in the 2000s where they showed us these a movie or two, and I distinctly remember the fact that he told us a story about a guy going out and basically going out into a field and getting high on mushrooms. And the ironic thing is that when you hear a story of that nature, at least for everybody that went to my school, is that made everybody want to do drugs. Not to avoid drugs, but to do drugs. And so I guess in that aspect, it just didn't, it just wasn't great. And also, it's come to my mind about D.A.R.E. because Memorial Day weekend, I replayed Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, and I'm currently replaying Transformers Devastation. Two games that, especially Blood Dragon, feel very, very 80s. And that's when the anti-drug sentiment was at its peak. Nowadays, 40 years later, we know more about it, and we're a lot more open to it as a society. I have never done a drug. I've never taken a drug. And I don't really want to. I have, like, no interest in doing drugs. And you shouldn't do drugs unless you're 18 and of age to do them. If it even is legal where you are, because it might not even be legal where you live. I'm thinking more specifically about the United States and how some states have legalized it and some states have not, besides just recreational purposes. But yeah, I distinctly remember there was one school year where it was prominent, and then I Haven't really heard of it since, except for videos where it's like, hey, what about this group? And all that. So I don't know if they're defunct. This is all going based on zero research at the moment, and I will admit that. So, but yeah, D.A.R.E was great, man. I definitely enjoyed the one officer coming and speaking to us all the time. Well, it wasn't all the time, but whenever he would come and speak to us, I certainly enjoyed it every time. And I don't know. I just don't have a desire to do drugs. Maybe it's because I had D.A.R.E, or maybe it wasn't. But um, comment down below your experiences with D.A.R.E. I'm sure that if you're my age, in your early to mid 20s, or older, I'm sure, well, if you're in your early to mid 20s to your 30s or potentially even 40s, I'm sure that you have some exposure to D.A.R.E and being taught D.A.R.E. Yeah, I only remember D.A.R.E coming to the school a few times. Just in that one year. They didn't really come any other school year. So I don't have a whole lot to talk about. But I remember that they had some fun activities that you could do with them. But I do believe that that will pretty much do it for me today. And see us, guys. I do believe that that will do it for this storytime video. And until the next storytime video, I will see you all later. Goodbye, guys. Thank you all for watching.